Hi guys, Connie here. Welcome to my living room. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to date this video. I normally don't do that, but I'm going to date this one. It's February 4th, 2024. And my reason for that is because Gar passed away 5 years today. And I can't believe it's been that long. You know, many of you know it feels like yesterday and it feels like forever. It's a loss that I can share with you that I don't believe that we will ever get over. But with support, we need to pick up the pieces and finish out the rest of our life in good form, which is what our husbands would want and is what God wants for us. And so I wanted to share with you today some of the things that I did when my husband was not doing well, probably functioning better than maybe some of your husbands that have not passed yet, but you know they're going to. And that's part of my reason for doing this video, is because some of you have reached out to me and said, you know, I know that he has a terminal diagnosis and I don't know what to do. I'm beside myself. You know, I'm caretaking for him 24/7, and I can't imagine the loss, and we think we're prepared. And I promise you, we're not. I hope you can handle that one. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my beginning story. And that is, my husband did not eat well. You know, I'm on a nutrition program. I've been on it for 20 years. I'm part of, I support the company. I share the products. I help people get healthy and live better lives. But my husband, God bless him, would not take the product. He was going to do what he was going to do. And he was a stubborn man, but not an angry man or a mean man. He was very loving and caring, and he just wanted to eat what he wanted to eat. So he drank sodas, of which the doctor told him, he went one time to the doctor, wouldn't go to doctors either. So he was told to get off of sodas. He did for about a year, and then he got back on them again. He said, I'm feeling fine, so he got back on them. So you can imagine what went with that, with his health eating habits that were not healthy at all. And he got worse and worse. And what he got first, that was diagnosed by an insurance company 10 years before it was a problem, and that was pre-diabetes. And then, of course, because he didn't do anything about it, he ended up with diabetes. And I know people read the statistics, they read the information. I know they know the side effects that can come from being a diabetic, but he ignored them. And so what happened to him over time was his diabetes. He was not overweight either. That was another weird thing. He was not overweight, but the food choices that he was making gave it to him anyway. And so he had diabetes. He had cataracts, would not have cataract surgery, so he was going blind. He had dementia that was getting worse and worse and worse. He had heart issues, and the doctors wanted to, I got him back to a doctor a second time, and they diagnosed all of this. The eye doctor diagnosed that, and the other doctor diagnosed the rest of his health issues. And toward the end, he got shingles, and he did go to the doctor for that. And the doctor gave him some medication, said it would last about a week. I was surprised, but that was pretty much the case. But she asked him when we went in to see her, and she was touching different parts of his body, and she said, you know, can you feel that? Can you feel this? Can you feel this? And he said no. And she said, well, that's sad, because that means that your diabetes is so bad that your nerve endings are dead. So they can't feel anymore. And so you can imagine, you know, how bad things were getting. And I did everything under the sun to try and get him to change. You know, I begged, I cried, I cajoled, I threatened, I taught. The first thing I did was I taught. I talked and I taught. And he ignored it. And then it just, the worse he got, the more I would beg and cry and be upset, and my nerves were shot. And he was working, but he was a printer, and he had stopped working in the print shop, but he was still taking orders from customers and sending it out to other printers to have it printed. They would give him a discount, and then he would deliver it to them. Well, I had to take the orders, and then him and I drove, because he couldn't see, so him and I would drive to deliver these jobs, and then he would go in and deliver it and collect the money or get the money in the mail a month later or whatever. And so he was still working to that degree. And so the day he died, he'd just been sick like for a few days, and it just seemed like, you know, a virus or something. And so Monday morning, he died Monday around noon, and on Monday morning, he just was not doing well. And I finally said, you know, you got to eat something. And so I said, what do you want? And he said something, I should have known something was off then. He said tomato soup. He never requested tomato soup. It was me that always asked for tomato soup. And so I called my daughter, and I said, you know, Dad's not feeling well, and he's wanting tomato soup, and I'm afraid to leave him. I said, would you take a minute and run to the store for me and get some tomato soup? So she did. And she brought it back. I heated it. I think I remember telling you this, and I heated it too much because that was my MO. I always did. So anyway, he drank about half or 3/4 of the tomato soup over time. He'd drink some. Sherry was there with me, and he would drink some and lay down, and get up and drink some and lay down. And then he said, I have to go to the bathroom. And so Sherry was behind him, pushing him, and I had a hold of his arm, lifting him off of the bed to direct him to the bathroom. And all of a sudden, he just fell down on the bed and fell back into Sherry's arms and died. And I thought he had had a stroke, and Sherry had her hand on his chest when he died. And she said, no, Mom, his heart's not breathing. So we both went into panic mode. We both called 911 because I went and got my phone. She had her phone on her. And so 911 came out, and they were going to resuscitate him. And I said, he's got a DNR that says do not resuscitate. And so the paramedic looked at my daughter and I and said, are you in agreement with this? And we said, yes, it was what he wanted. Then he said, well, it's for the best that you did that, because he was out too long by the time we got here, and we called instantly, and they're right around the corner from us, but it was like 10 minutes, maybe, I have no idea. So anyway, they came out, and he said, had we been able to bring him back, he would not have been in a good state. And he always wanted to live, and don't we all, but he voiced it a lot. He wanted to live till he died. And that's exactly what he did. And the song that we played at his memorial was He Did It His Way, Frank Sinatra. I Did It My Way is the name of the song, because that's exactly what he did. And so when I was taking care of him, from what I described to you, you can understand that I was so stressed. And I was constantly stressed because I couldn't get him to change anything he was doing, and he was getting sicker and sicker. And I think one of the things as caretakers that we don't do is we don't take care of ourselves. We don't eat right. We don't get any exercise. We don't get out of the house to do anything in a stress-free zone. Like if we get out of the house to do any grocery shopping or anything, we're still stressed. And so a few things that I would like to recommend, because I know you don't want to take care of yourself. It's all about him right now, and I agree. And if you are not taking care of yourself the way you need to be taken care of, it's harder to take care of them the way they need to be taken care of. So a few quick suggestions. One is if you can get somebody to come over to the house. And my neighbor, her husband was not doing well for years, and her son finally got a hold of her and said, you need to do this, and she did, and it really helped a lot. So if you can get somebody to come over for about 4 hours and leave the house, go get your nails done, get a pedicure, go meet a friend for coffee or for lunch, go to a park and read a book, go take a long walk, go to the beach or a lake area, change your scenery, change your surroundings. If you can meet with people, that's great. More than one even, because you get involved in a conversation, because if it's just one-on-one, you'll end up doing all the talking and crying, and that's not giving you the release that you need. You need to talk to someone about your feelings. And so there's a time for that. Like you could take one of those 4 hours, do it once a week. If you could take one of those 4-hour segments, meet with a friend, and just share everything that's going on, and your stresses and your concerns and your fears and everything that's going on. Share it with a friend. And then another 4-hour session, another week, if you can meet with 2 or 3 people and go to the movies and find a movie. Like last night we went to see Wonka. I had no idea what it was about, and there's a really dark Willy Wonka movie out there, and I played that for the kids one year and they hated it, and I'm like, what's going on? This is not. And so I turned it off because it was really weird. But this one was absolutely adorable, and it was how Wonka got his name. I don't remember what the name of it was. That might have been it. And it was just cute. The whole movie was really cute. And so find something like that that is lighthearted that you can watch at the movies, and go with a friend. Don't go by yourself if you can help it. Find somebody to go with you. People are always willing to help. They just don't know how to help. So if you say, I want to go to the movies, what day this week are you free to go to the movies? And then make sure that you've got someone that's free that can come in, so you don't have to worry. You can take your phone with you. You can turn it off, turn it down, but not off. Turn it on vibrate. So if anything goes wrong, you can get the vibration and you can step out and take the call. There's something called red light therapy, and you can buy a red light for the house. And about half an hour or hour a day, start out slow and build up. Sit under that red light therapy. It's really calming and therapeutic for the body and the soul. So if you can do something like that, this is a good time to take up journaling. I said I never did. This is a great time to take up journaling. Do some writing. Get your feelings out, because the more you bottle them up, the less you breathe. I told you guys recently about my grandson. Didn't know if he was going to live or die. And on the 2nd or 3rd day after his surgery and everything, my daughter called me, FaceTimed me, and I thought it was going to be her, and I answered the phone, and it was my grandson on the other end. And I literally gasped. I lost my breath. And then I think I took in the deepest breath since I heard about the accident. So we tend not to breathe when we're stressed. You've got to breathe. And then you've got to watch your diet. You know, my nutrition program, I had 2 meal replacement shakes every single day. I didn't eat perfect, but I had that nutrition going in my body every day, and it helped me. So those are just a few things that I would recommend. And what I would like to ask is, I know there are a couple of you here that watch my videos where you were in that place and now your husband has passed. And I know that you're in a different place now than you were then. And to help and support some of the ones that their husbands are still here and they're caretaking for them, if you have any other suggestions of anything you did or anything you wish you had done to take better care of yourself while you were caretaking him, if you would comment and let us know what some of those things that you did or you wish you had done or that friends advised you to do, that would be helpful to everybody. So with that, I'm going to just leave you with that today, and I hope that some of this makes sense and you can take it to heart, and we can talk again about, if you want, right after they pass, and I can talk about that. So I'll do that. We've got Valentine's Day coming up, so I may wait until after Valentine's Day to do that. It's kind of heavy to do on Valentine's Day. And then last week's video, if you are widowed and you're alone, check out last week's video because it was all about having friends over, one friend or multiple friends, and having a little gathering and some fun things to do for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's, Mardi Gras. Valentine's Day or Mardi Gras. So those are on that last week's video. So have some fun with that. And remember, you guys, if nobody else tells you today, just remember, I love you. Have an awesome day. Bye for now and have a great week.